Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the session Women Diversity and Inclusion with SheJobs. For this session, Ceipal is joined by Yulia Velagorskaya, CTO SheJobs. But before we launch into today's session, there are a few housekeeping items to cover. First, each session will be recorded and available on demand through Ceipal's website. A follow-up email will be sent to all registrants with the recording and any other relevant material. Second, we have a Q&A session following the discussion. All participants have entered the session muted, so please enter your questions in the questions tab on your right-hand menu and we'll address them at the end of the panel. And finally, we are on a strict schedule today. To save time for our Q&A period, I'll give a 5-minute warning to all speakers. After the 5-minute warning, the speaker will conclude their conversation and will open for Q&A. Please note that this session will end promptly at the scheduled time. At that point, we encourage you to visit our agenda tab and explore our other topics and speakers in the 4 different tracks. If you do not visit the agenda tab, you'll be automatically redirected to the next session in this track. That's it, and now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today. Yulia Velagorskaya, CTO of SheJobs, has been a noted leader in technology and operations for over 15 years. Bridging the gap between business and technology, Yulia has been a part of growth and restructure for many organizations, achieving short and long term needs and goals, and is a key driver to a company's long term success. Thank you so much, Yulia, for joining. Over to you.
Thank you, Tasneem. Thank you, and welcome everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Definitely glad to be a part of this event. Thank you to Ceipal and the team to have us as a part of this event, to definitely support our message. It seems like we have united and have found a very good platform to share our passion. As I've been participating in a couple of the live sessions before, it's very exciting to see similar interests, similar passions, and everyone working together. I'll do a quick presentation, but I think I always prefer to have a conversation in our, pardon me, and let me make sure we have our screens correct. You know, we're in technology, but sometimes we fight with it. There we go. Awesome. So a little bit about us, about SheJobs, about our mission. So I'm sure for as long as we know, for as long as we can remember, inequality in the workspace, I feel like has been an unspoken acceptance, right? We stem from women being given the right to work, right? Giving the right to work, like imagine this, right? Now, to what we face today. And this phenomenon, I call it, is everywhere, right? Hollywood's blasting about it. The gap between equal pay, right? That's a very, very hot topic. So we are here to help create a tool for women within the workplace, women within technology workspace, because as we all know, the positions that we've started playing once we started working were almost fitting to the nurture of what a woman represents or the message that a woman would carry. In the last 20 years, women have definitely risen in employment. I think in 2020, over 50% of American jobs were actually women. However, as we all know, with COVID coming in, that became a new challenge. One, women in technology, there's always been a gap. Two, COVID has basically made everyone lose their job at one point in time, right? I was personally impacted by this and, spent 4 or 5 months at home, which was great. Got to spend time with the kid, the dogs, the whole thing. But at the end of the day, looking and competing once the job force started up again was almost a huge pain point for me. There was a lot of conversations that my daughter and I had about, the things that we struggle with whenever we look for jobs, whether it's application inequality, whether it's, or rather a hiring bias. The fact that we have built a career and then for a few months we haven't been able to find a job or work for whatever reason, whether it's losing a job, whether it's having a child. So that helps us, or not helps us, excuse me, but it basically doesn't put that back into the role that we've started with. We started with a role in leadership, but then all you can find is, basic jobs or jobs that are completely out of your spectrum. So we're here to help bridge that. Let's talk about some of the things that, our women have experienced. 1 second, having, again, difficulties with the fun stuff. Here we go. So a lot of the problems that I've mentioned earlier, we've got gaps with gender diversity, with the hiring bias, women in leadership, definitely a huge decline in that, just for whatever reasons, right? We get married, we have kids, we have gaps in our employment. The HR policies are still being written just based on the world today. Childcare, homeschooling. Let's talk about that a little bit, right? We have been always looked at as the nurturer, right? And our job is to be at home, take care of the husband, take care of the kid. That's not necessarily what our strive is, and we are definitely here to course correct that. There's never been a problem with female achievement, right? Women have caught up with men in education, leadership, the whole thing. But in fact, other countries, women now actually surpass men in educational achievement. But the problem arises when I feel like young adults try to balance work and family. Again, we as women, we end up carrying nearly all of the caregiving responsibilities. And if we would to put more hours into these household activities than men, then it greatly disadvantages us from workplace, from doing exactly what we are meant here to do, which is support our families in the exact same way that men support our families. So with SheJobs, we're not actually here to start a revolution, but we want to be a tool. We want to be an available resource for women. We also want to make sure that our clients, our job seekers, are not there to quote unquote check a box just to be included, right, within the company portfolio. We want to be looked at as equal. We definitely also want to feel included, and to be included is to have a seat at the table where decisions are being made. So with SheJobs, we're hoping to help our women get there. So how do we do that? So when, and I'll share a personal experience in this case, but whenever this was during COVID times, I feel like in certain times we have choices, right? We have choices as women who've been in the workplace, who've built a career, whether it's through education and constant work, or through just getting into the workforce and hoping to survive and trying to make a name for yourself and establish a career that will take care of you and your family. But when you start looking, you also start paying attention, at least I was, on, is this company women friendly? We are in technology, and I feel like we understand that technology has been a male space, male dominant space. And so to start with something, to be able to get into an environment where you're comfortable, you will start with something that would be a focus for what you need, right? So women friendly was a big deal for me. And then at the same time, within SheJobs, we also have our clients that are employers. They're looking for women or diversity to diversify their portfolio that are also a right fit. What that means is they have a job description. they see a resume, but at the same time, there is a gap to know whether or not this person actually fits this job. I'm sure everyone's applied and everyone's worked. Do you get a call back and say, hey, I need you to make these changes on your resume to fit the job description? And I think one of the ladies in the panel, Sonu, mentioned that there's sometimes not even a need to send a resume if you're selling a personality, if you're helping that person build a video message to where the employer understands that, sure, the skills are there, but is this person a right fit for the company? Does the person have the right skills for this? Communication, right? Writing, things like that. So with SheJobs, we actually help connect a lot of these things within the tool that we offer. So yes, we have a focused job portal. We also focus on reskilling programs, right? So if there's a gap in employment, or even if a person is looking to expand their career or maybe move into a different position, they have all the skills you need on paper, but then there's potentially a gap to actually put those skills into play. So we offer things that help reskilling our girls. HR counseling, right? How to deal with certain things within the workplace. This is something that a lot of the times is difficult to approach within the company, just because whether it's a huge company or a small company, HR has always been a touchy place for us girls, right? And then we also community activities to support our mission and to support our employers as well as our job seekers. So how do we do it? There are quite a few ways that we offer. So our users, as I mentioned, our customers, our job seekers, our employers. So we definitely offer an extensive database of profiles. The interfaces that we have are, of course, web, mobile. There's a chatbot that's available. We also offer remote office opportunities. And so with this, as employers are coming in, they're seeking for certain things. They're looking for opportunities for diversity within their portfolio. It's thousands and thousands of resumes, right? So what makes us a little different, and that is part of what we do is internal screenings. So prior to matching a candidate with a job, we want to make sure that we provide the candidate with the tools for success. So outside of screening, the ability to help the search by using back-end technology that kind of splits things apart. It looks for certain keywords. It helps with job posts. It helps you with also tracking, such as, who's viewed your resume, who's looking at things, how much time they've spent on your resume. So things like that, we definitely have within our applications. Virtual trainings, mentorship, knowledge resources. This is all part of the reskilling that we definitely support and offer to help our women succeed within the workforce. And so on the back end of things, as I've mentioned, there's an extensive database, number of partners that we've been working with, definitely connected to a lot of the social medias, the learning platforms. So a number of tools that is within SheJobs that is accessible, it's easy to use, and we're here to help, right? We're here to bridge the gap. We're here to confirm that you're not alone out there trying to find your way through this mess of life and juggle kids, find a job, and still be a success, right? So we are here to work with that. So a couple of things that our job portal would do is to help create structured profiles. Let us do the scrubbing, right? Let us help our employers and our job seekers get the right fit for the job that they're looking for. There's screened video interest. So to someone else's point, there's a lot of personality that's to be seen, and you can't see that on a resume. And our resumes get longer and longer with more and more abbreviations. People lose interest in that. Sure, but as a person, is this going to fit into the office? Is she going to be excited to work here? As an employer, can I give, my people what they're looking for as well? So it's a bit of a two-way interview process, right? And so we help with that. Um, Easy access. I feel like because we've had so much experience in the workforce and looking for jobs, right? There's a million platforms out there. We tend to focus on empowering our women to be able to get into the workplace, to get into the workplace of technology, to not only gain the skills, but to continue their skills. So definitely lots of value for job seekers, definitely lots of value for employers. And again, it's all one mission. Um, so that being said, I think I've mentioned a lot of things that we've been offering, we are going to continue to offer. Guided channels for open platforms, right? So this is also um, an ability for our employers, or our seekers rather, to continue to get information that is going to be useful and helpful to what they're doing, what they're looking to do, and so on. Won't spend too much time on slides. Again, I'd rather open this up for questions and um, again, within SheJobs, we're here to support. So whether it's gap analysis, and this is something that has been a very heavy topic, I feel like, in between jobs, having a gap within your employment based on whether you got sick, you had to take care of a husband, you had to take care of a child. So things like that, it's part of our mission, part of our excitement to be able to offer a tool. So it's women supporting women. We're just here to offer the tools that we can use today and we can use for the future. Regarding the community activities, this is definitely something that's been an exciting thing. We're here to spread the word, to spread the love, to spread the opportunity with multiple different channels, right? Whether it's social networks, whether it's newspapers, magazines, and so on. And of course, awesome things like this, where there's a panel of extremely powerful women that have one message, and that is to, again, support each other, because we know how hard it is to make it out in any business. There's always a stigma about a woman coming into work, and we're here to get rid of that stigma. Part of our roadmap definitely includes partnering with job portals. We're going to try to use the new technology. There's lots of ideas out there that need to be put into play to help us with our mission, to help us with our goal. Mobile application with notifications. Again, the chatbot that we mentioned is available because, again, when do we have time to ourselves, right? And that's usually in the night when everyone is sleeping. I can't tell you how many job searches I've done at night and just in my dark little room in front of a computer. Whereas we're giving the opportunity to have a chatbot do a lot of work for you. So this is definitely an exciting project that's in the works. Our definite focus is within the tech world. So we want to make sure that the training and the education that the women have been receiving can be put to use. But we also don't want to limit ourselves. So we definitely would be essentially expanding into other markets, such as arts or any other thing that's outside of technology. So lots of opportunities, lots of exciting things in the play. I'm definitely am excited to be a part of this project, a part of this company, and a part of this mission. So I think I am done talking. That's a lot of talking that a person can do. So I'll open this up. Thank you so much for the time, and I will go ahead and put myself on mute for questions.
Thank you, Yulia, for an excellent presentation and your insights on women diversity. And now we begin with the Q&A. So we have quite a few questions, but we won't be able to take it because of time constraint. And also, Yulia, I would like to tell that attendees here are giving a good response here, telling that you're giving a good opportunity for women, and you're doing a great job. And coming to question, one of the attendees have asked things. I want to know more about membership-based access.
So this is something that is a little bit new for us, right? So membership-based access is something that we're going to end up offering to not just our employers, but also job seekers, right? There are bundles that we want to make sure that we cater to, meaning I, as a seeker, want to make sure that I have the ability or the tools that I need to perform a specific job, perform a specific task. So within these membership bundles, we are planning on catering to that, right? What is the opportunity? How can we offer things to help you, to give you the tools for that? Comes in a form of classes, training, any additional mentoring and things like that. So more to come.
Got it. So it was great having you. It was great having you, Yulia, and thank you for making the session interesting and meaningful.